Love gives birth to music, but heartbreak creates the songs we never forget. Some idols shine on stage, but bleed quietly behind it. Tonight, we enter the hidden emotional world of three souls, whose hearts were bruised, broken, and yet turned every wound into art. IU, Taeyong, Suzy, three names the world adores. Three hearts the world misunderstood. Because even stars fall in love, and even stars break. This is their quiet truth. IU, the girl who loved too deeply. Before IU became the woman who carried nations with her voice. She was a young girl who loved with a heart too soft for the world. She once said, "Every love leaves a mark. Mine left a song." Her first heartbreak didn't come from a relationship, but from being abandoned, ignored, and treated like she wasn't enough. She grew up wondering why love always felt like distance. So when she finally loved someone as an adult, she loved like someone afraid of losing the moment. She poured her heart too deeply, too honestly, too sincerely. That kind of love is beautiful, but it's also fragile. Some say she wrote her most emotional songs, not about fame, not about dreams, but about someone she once held dearly, yet could never keep. Love, for IU, was a quiet ache, a promise she kept even after it broke. She didn't scream. She didn't rant. She wrote. She wrote lyrics that sounded like tears, melodies that felt like old memories, choruses that whispered, "I loved you," even when it hurt. There were nights she sat alone, guitar on her lap, asking herself why love and pain always arrived together. Yet she grew. She survived. She turned her sorrow into songs that healed millions. Maybe she lost love, but she gained something even more powerful. The ability to turn heartbreak into healing. V, the boy who loved with his whole heart. Taeyong doesn't love halfway. He never did. He's the type of man who gives his heart fully, his trust completely, and his soul without hesitation. But the world wasn't always gentle with him. Before he became V of BTS, before the fame, before the lights, he was a young boy who knew loneliness far too early. So when he finally loved someone, he loved with all the pieces he once used to survive his childhood. He once hinted that the hardest part of love is watching someone you care about slowly drift away, while you pretend everything is fine. For Taeyong, love was not a fairy tale. It was a quiet battlefield, a place where he tried to stay strong. While his heart felt like it was sinking, his eyes, they tell stories he never says out loud. Stories of someone who loved, but wasn't loved back the same way. Stories of someone who stayed when the other person left first. Stories of someone who kept memories long after the other person forgot. He poured these feelings into music, into those slow, deep notes, into those soft confessions, into those moments where his voice sounds like a man holding tears and holding on. V loved deeply and lost deeply. But instead of turning numb, he turned soulful. His pain didn't destroy him. It refined him. He learned that losing love does not mean losing yourself, and that sometimes the heart breaks so the soul can breathe. Suzy, the nation's first love who loved quietly. They called her the nation's first love. But Suzy? She was just a girl trying to love without being judged for it. Her relationships were never private. Her emotions were never hers. Her heartbreak was never silent. The world had opinions about every friend, every man, every word she said. She once admitted that people saw her beauty, but ignored her loneliness. She loved softly, carefully, gently, but gentle hearts are the easiest to bruise. She experienced love that felt perfect until it wasn't. She experienced connection that felt eternal until fame tore it apart. She experienced heartbreak that felt personal until it became headlines. And yet, she didn't turn bitter. She turned wiser. Her acting roles became deeper. Her expressions carried pain the script didn't write. Her eyes held 1,000 unsaid stories. Stories of a girl who loved without fear, but healed without noise. Suzy learned that love is not always meant to last, but it is always meant to teach. And what it taught her was strength, softness, patience, quiet resilience. She walked through heartbreak like a woman who knew her worth, even when someone else didn't. 3 hearts, 3 stories, 3 wounds that shape the artists we love. IU taught us that pain can become music. V taught us that love can be deep even if it ends. Suzy taught us that soft hearts are not weak. They are brave. Love hurt them, but it also shaped them. It made them human. It made them real. It made their art unforgettable. Because sometimes the most beautiful songs come from the deepest scars. Do you believe that love must break us before it teaches us who we truly are?